of Corey Halbert. On the third row, 85 of Brittany Golden. Outside Golden, the 51 of Mike Freeman. And bringing up the fourth row, the 14 of Matthew Moore. 7 cars, 8 laps of distance. Bainer's OilGARD Anti-Rust Canadian Modifieds. Once again, heats are brought to you by Deerhaven Power Sports. It's green and go. Doug O'Blennis in the 32 leads the field through the first lap. The 2 of Leslie Mowat, Brittany Golden, the 41 of Corey Halbert, the 08 of Angie Kirby, the 51 of Mike Freeman, the 14 of Matthew Moore. O'Blennis and Mowat putting the battle on right up front. Leslie not letting Doug get away in any form. She looks to the high side. Doug slides it to the middle of the track. Leslie once again going to look to the outside as O'Blennis keeps it tucked right down tight. It's O'Blennis, Mowat, Corey Halbert, Brittany Golden, Angie Kirby, Matthew Moore, and Mike Freeman. Halfway flags are in the air for the 32 of Doug O'Blennis, the 2 of Leslie Mowat, the 41 of Corey Halbert, Brittany Golden in the 85, the 08 of Angie Kirby, the 14 of Matthew Moore, and the 51 of Mike Freeman. O'Blennis, Mowat, Halbert, Golden, Kirby, Matthew Moore, and Mike Freeman. As they break out of turn 4, 2 laps remain for Doug O'Blennis, Leslie Mowat, Corey Halbert, Brittany Golden, Angie Kirby, Matthew Moore, and Michael Freeman. This time by, the white flag is out. One more trip around for Doug O'Blennis, Leslie Mowat, Corey Halbert, Brittany Golden, Matthew Moore, Angie Kirby pulling up limp with some mechanical issues. Mike Freeman in the 51. O'Blennis picking up the win in the 32, the 2 of Leslie Mowat. Corey Halbert picks up third, the 85 of Brittany Golden, fourth, the 14 of Matthew Moore in the 5th spot. 6 goes to Mike Freeman in the 51, and the Canadian Modifieds. Once again, our heats are brought to you by Deerhaven Power Sport, the official supplier of the Brighton Speedway Emergency Response Rangers. White flag is out. One more trip around. We'll get these guys under green. Current points leader sitting on the outside pole. Sean Gregory is on the inside row 2. Those two battle back and forth. They have the tightest and the cleanest races I've seen. Let's see what they can put together here for this qualifying heat. Greg Bellier and his UMP Modified going to throw into a mix now too. Ronnie Watford leads the field down through the corner. Gregory pulls up limp. He's going to pull down onto the infield. Not good news for him. Watford in the 40. Green. There goes Bellier in the 25, jumping up into second spot. Caution is on the racetrack as Sean Gregory is just tucked off the inside there. Not far enough onto the infield. For safety reasons, they will pull the yellow flag.
Second to him when they raced against each other earlier in the season. So, yeah, he'll definitely be looking to get back and race with him. And, of course, race fans, you don't want to miss that because Ken Trader will be here, take pictures, meet you, autographs, and more.
Ronnie Watford out to the lead. Bellier right in the behind on the 25. He's going to look to the outside. Bellier gets it swung right around. And miraculously enough, no damage done to any car with two cars facing the wrong way on the race. Worth coming to see Kenny Schrader for sure. A little bit of final jockeying there from the race director next door. White flag is coming out onto the racetrack. And I believe Wally Alterdice in the 5 car has a rear tire that has gone down on him. You can see the rear inside tire is completely flat on the 5 car. Trying to give him the motion to get into the pit area, not to do any more damage to either that tire or the rim. So 5 of Wally Alterdice pulls it over. Because of the interruption, we're going to go white flag one more time before we set these guys loose. With the repositions of the lineup again. Ronnie Watford, Bob Green on the front row, Dan Price, Greg Bellier, row number 2, the 07 of Rick Phillips on the 3rd row. Starter has a green flag in the air. As they bunch the field nice and tight coming through 3 and 4. It's green and go. Ronnie Watford in the 40, the 26 of Bob Green, the 09 of Dan Price, hold down row number 2. Greg Bellier is going to try to look in between them. It's Ronnie Watford, Dan Price, Greg Bellier, Bob Green, and Rick Phillips. Bellier slides past Dan Price in the 09, taking over 2nd spot. It's the 40 of Watford, the 25 of Bob Green, or Greg Bellier, Dan Price, Bob Green, and Rick Phillips. Halfway flags are in the air. For the 40 of Watford, the 25 of Greg Bellier, the 09 of Dan Price, Bob Green, and Rick Phillips. Greg Bellier keeps closing the gap up on the 40 of Ronnie Watford. It's Watford, Greg Bellier, Dan Price, Bob Green, and Rick Phillips. White flag is out. One more trip around now for Ronnie Watford, Greg Bellier in the 25. Back to the 09 of Dan Price, Bob Green, and Rick Phillips. Through 3 and 4, picking up the win is the 40 of Ronnie Watford. Second goes to 25 of Greg Bellier, the 09 of Dan Price, the 26 of Bob Green, and the 07 of Rick Phillips rounding out the field.